Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. Today is Thursday afternoon, and let's continue with our Halloween project. How are you doing today? It's a rainy Thursday afternoon over here. We have a black kitty, and we have a diamond painting pen that doesn't want to pick up the drills. So let's fill it up, and I will cover it so I will not be getting stuck where I am not supposed to be sticking to. How are you all doing today? I have finally put up the Halloween decorations on my door. I did not, however, take a picture of it yet. I shall. And of course, I will share it. Let's shed some light here. There we go. Yes, we have a few new lights. I am still waiting for my new tripod. This one is in a rather precarious position. We have fallen down together with the camera. I know. You thought it was funny. Actually, I thought it was funny too. I did catch you, however, before you hit the floor. But I figured, my camera costs too much money for it to be winding up on the floor because my tripod is not substantial enough. So, let's diamond paint our kitty cat today. I have found that I dumped drills and I popped them all over the place. I have found that once I put a face on my diamond painting, if there's a main character, it sort of brings it to life, doesn't it? Now, it would be good to know what is this that I have here. It's that symbol. Yeah, good luck. $3.10, of course. What else would it be? I know, you were yelling, $3.10, $3.10, $3.10. Yeah, it's our least favorite. Some people like it, actually. Most of the time we have a 310. I think that's the first DMC code that I learned, was the 310 is the black. So far I only had shortage in one of them, which was a very particular white one. I am saying very particular white one because I came to the recognition of the fact that even white color has different hues. So I think what I should do is rearrange my leftover drills as to where they came from. Because I've noticed it does make a difference from which company. Even the same DMC code, I don't know how to explain it any better than that. Seemed to be a different hue, which I thought was rather interesting. I thought black is black, white is white. How wrong can you go? Until I put the white I had left over from another diamond painting, until I got the replacement for what was missing in that particular diamond paint. And right away I noticed That's a different color white. No, it wasn't cream, it wasn't beige. It was labeled as white, and it did show up on the diamond painting that it was from a different company. Same DMC code. I really don't know the difference between resin and the other one. I think these are resin. I still have some things to learn yet, you know. Be patient with me. We're doing fine. We learned a lot. What, this kitty cat has whiskers? Oops, you don't belong there. Come on now. So, it's starting to look like a scary kitty cat. I doubt it. It's a small one. I mean, how scared can you get from a little? Well, I suppose if kitty cats get angry, they get a little bit vicious. But I mean, this is a little kitty cat. I don't know. I don't have any house pets. They don't allow them in this apartment. And I never did have any house pets, so I guess I'm just not used to having them around. You think in my old age I should get some cats? I guess you can get used to them. Now, I am not much for house pets, but I will not stand for anyone mistreating an innocent animal. You know, you take an animal home, you make them depend on you, and then you mistreat them or you neglect them, then why do you accept the care of that animal? It's a living being. And that animal's whole world is you, actually. Now, I have seen some people get so attached to a house pet, you know, like it was their child. I can understand that. Because to that animal, you are the whole world. And they are very, again, I forgot English. They are dependent on you and they love you unconditionally. Just think, even with a minimal amount of care, that animal will give you all of its love. Actually, all its cat asks is to, you know, to be fed, give it a little attention, take good care of it. Sometimes I did wonder what it would be like to have a pet. So far, the only pet I ever had was goldfish, you know. We did have dogs and cats in the village house, but it was a traumatic experience when the dog expired and was frozen outside, you know, and I sort of broke my heart, you know, to see that. No, it didn't freeze to death. It was ill. I know when the kids got a little puppy and somebody gave them a puppy that was sick, and that was rather heartbreaking. We did have to put it to sleep because it was suffering so much. You know, like I said, I am not one for house pets, but I will not let it mistreat or watch it suffer. vet said that cannot make it better. So he did recommend, since the little puppy was in a lot of pain, that we should mercifully, gently put him to sleep. It was rather traumatic for the kids, so I can understand if, you really love your pet and it expires, that you would be very upset, like a family member. They said it's very healthy because, you have to take care of it, especially if a person lives alone. It's good to have a pet. For a dog, you have to take it for a walk, which gives you exercise too. And really, you come home, you live alone, and, you walk in the door and your pet is so happy to see you. Yes, I can understand that. But then, I have never lived alone yet, so sometimes, you wish for things that you never had, such as being alone or being bored. But then if it does happen, then I don't think that would be too much of a positive experience. I would love to hear your feedback on that. I have always had, I come from a large family, and so far I raised 7 children, including my grandson. So I don't think I was ever alone that I can recall. I lived in many parts of the world, so have quite a worldly outlook on life. Actually, my husband wishes I would get a little bit calmer as time goes on. Yes, I do have a tendency to get overexcited. Told him, that's my nature. You knew that when you married me. But I tried. This diamond painting is moving around so much. As I said, the camera is in a precarious position, and I'm waiting for it to go tumbling down. Don't worry, I will catch you. I'm not going to let you get hurt. Oh, Kitty Cat has a very serious face, I think. Yeah, that's what it looks like. We can see more as we go along, and usually I have to step back, because I'm too close to the canvas to really make out what I am doing. I told you that already. And give it a good once over. When I feel like it's not making any sense, the way I'm going, I step back and I look at it and I go, aha. So that is the purpose of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Now the reason I'm going, vertical and horizontal, I am trying to avoid having gaps. But I would rather have tiny, tiny, tiny gap than have the drills so tight that they would pop up from the canvas. Yes, I learned that on YouTube that I had one canvas that the drills were popping, and I thought there was something wrong, with the canvas, or I did something wrong. And then I looked at some videos for people but I was diamond painting for years already. And that's when I learned that if they are too tight together, that could cause the drills to pop. And I was like, oh, so. And that's when I learned if I'm doing square, start in the middle. And then if they need a little more room to expand, then you can go over a little bit on the edge. And that way they will all lay flat and not pop up from being too tight. And of course I do roll down the canvas once I am done. What is this here? This doesn't belong here. Naughty. Let's not get ahead of us. You don't belong there. Let's try and make the kitty cat. The wonderful truck just crashed in front of my house. You know, they do that all day long. I thought they were going to detour the traffic, but unless I see a lot of these trucks carrying sand and gravel, unless they're working on the road. Yeah, they were supposed to build a highway so these trucks will not be coming this way in front of Main Street. I live on Main Street. This is why it's so noisy. All my windows look out on Main Street. Yep. It's fun when you're cleaning windows and, you know, hubby said not to put shorts on next time I clean windows. I go, why? He goes, because you're causing a traffic jam. I go, oh, for Pete's sake. So now I have to get dressed properly if I want to clean windows because, you know, I'm on public view. I'm like, not that much to look at. Seriously. He goes, yeah, but the people are waiting for the traffic light to change and they get bored. And they'll look at anything they can see. I go, all right, I get the message. I said, well, there is another solution. You know, dear, you get up there and you clean the window. And then nobody has to look at me in my shorts. Doesn't that sound like the perfect solution? I thought it was a good solution. You know, hubby didn't quite appreciate it, but I thought it was a good idea. I mean, there's more than one way to solve a problem, right? Right. So, oh, we have our kitty cat. We have its face. So, from what I can see, excuse me, yeah, runny nose. It's fall already. Actually, it went away in the summer. I do wonder if I have a slight allergy. I'm not aware of it. Certainly looks like it. It is a rainy day, rather chilly. To be expected, actually. You know, it is October. Honestly, I'm going to put up a vote because what do I see? I see Christmas decorations in the stores already. I mean, come on. It's only October. I actually don't leave Christmas shopping to the last minute because I am living in Eastern Europe, and sometimes I have to order if I want something special, and it takes quite a few weeks to get here. So if I want something special that has to come from overseas, I need to order it. Actually, this is about the last minute for ordering stuff from overseas, in order to be sure that I get it delivered. Although things have been going rather back to normal as far as delivery is concerned. They made some new laws. They put you had to pay money for some of the things that you didn't have to pay before. Customs. But most of the time, it's like, you have to pay the custom people for them to determine the fact that you do not owe customs. I did make a point of complaint about that because I know the laws, and I know for a fact that it was duty-free. If I do order something of a bigger value, let's say I will order it in 2 different packages, and that way you avoid for paying customs on it. You have to know how much is the value of the package. And this is why I was surprised when I got an email saying that I have to pay, customs administration. And I'm like, no, I don't have to pay. And they're like, well, you have to pay because we put your package through customs. And I go, why? Go, because it's the new law. Okay. They did return my money after I complained that I had to pay in order for them to determine that I don't owe money, which I thought was not quite correct. Usually I've noticed that, when they have the new ones doing their internship in the summer, they have to do their internship in order to get their fully accepted as far as being a customs officer. Anyway, when they're doing their internship, that's when I usually get these ridiculous things. And I'm like, okay. So we have a student again. You can usually tell because they want to prove that they know everything there is to know, and they know the law, and they're going to pursue the law to the T. And you're like, okay, fine, be happy. Once I had an officer call me and tell me, we have a package over here for you that's supposed to be a surprise package, and we want to know what's in there so we can determine whether it needs to have customs or duty paid. I go, excuse me, if it's a surprise package, how am I supposed to know what is in the package? They go, well, we need to know. I go, well, why don't you send it back to the person that sent it? I knew who the person sent it, but I didn't know what was in it. Obviously, since it's a surprise. That's the whole idea of a surprise, that you don't know what is in it. So then they said, well, we don't know what to do. I go, look, I don't know what is in the surprise box, okay? If you want to know what's in it, get in contact with the person that sent it. Now, doesn't that seem logical? person that sent it works for the customs office in that particular country. So he was very well aware of all the laws and all the do's and don'ts. So I figured, you're going to send it back. You're going to have quite an issue on your hands. But go ahead, have fun. Well, lo and behold, post person comes to the door, comes to the package, didn't have to pay anything. I thought, that was interesting. And I'm like, are you sure you don't want any money? And he goes, no. I go, oh, okay. But I thought there was a problem with the package. They go, I don't know. Well, that makes two of us. And I don't know either. So there are some interesting stories as far as customs is concerned. I'm not saying they have an easy job because the laws and the regulations change a lot. And then you have to be in touch with the European Union laws. We are not a Euro country yet, but we are part of the European Union. So then you have the issue of the currency and rate of exchange, because that's important when you are determining the value of the package, So I think it does take a lot of training to be a customs officer, I would presume. And it would be possible to make mistakes, because not all the time do they get the most recent laws. I know once my son was on the border, he drives an international rig, and he was on the border for 12 hours because the customs officers at the border were not enlightened about the new law from the other side of the border. And then what he had to do was go around to another exit and enter the country from a different point of entry, where they already had the newest rules and regulations in effect. But his boss did not tell him that he should go to the other port of entry, because by that time he would have been long time home rather than sitting on a border in the cold. They're pretty well set up inside the rig, place to sleep and warm their food. But when you have to sit in there for 12 hours, that's difficult. People think it's such an easy job to be a driver for these international trucks, but it is not easy. And some of your fellow drivers are very nice and polite, and some tend to be difficult. As you pass through different countries, but he loves his job, so that's a big plus, I think if you love your job, it's a lot of inconveniences you are willing to put up with it. And of course, when he makes international runs, they take the risk factor and everything else into effect. So it's a little bit more money, not much, but enough to make it worth it. He bought a house, he has a little boy, so there's plenty of places to put the money. That's life. want to get ahead, you have to put in the work. It's the same in every country, it's my opinion, unless you are born super rich. Even then, I think, in my opinion, I would teach my child the value of the money and how much you have to work for each dollar. Just so they don't become this privileged brats. And I don't know if you can get anything you want. Wouldn't that be rather boring? Like you wouldn't have to save or struggle for it, you know? I think it would be instant gratification. I tend to get sometimes very impatient. When I want something done, I want it done like, I want it now. I do have a tendency to be, impatient sort. But many things I planned for, I saved for, had my dreams, and when the dream finally comes true, it's such a wonderful feeling, I did it, I made it. Yes, yes, yes. I think it's part of the fun. It's like when you're going somewhere, actually the traveling part is the most exciting. Once you're there, you're there. So you have arrived. But many things can happen along the way, which makes it interesting. I love to travel. Do you like to travel? I love to travel by train. The new type of